Oh, hi.
The phrase they say, the umbrella of direction covers everything.
This session, though, I lost my rear brake.
If they're able to see it, then it could. I think I see it.
That.
That's the pedal.
That's definitely it. We found it. All right, hey, Will.
Yeah.
What time is it?
It's around 4 in the morning.
Yeah, it's around 4 in the morning on Monday. What is this? April 6th?
Yep.
Yeah. 4:30. And we feel like my daughter right now. It is so early. But we're all loaded up, ready to go to the racetrack with the bike that we have been working so long on. Now, this all started last year when I was like, man, I really want to go racing. Man, I want to race so bad. I want like a dedicated track bike because I love this bike. I love this bike a ton. But if anything happened to it at the racetrack, I would be just, it would suck. I still got a payment on that. And my dad, all growing up, and once I got my driver's license, he always told me, son, don't race your daily. Well, in this case, buy a dedicated track or race bike. So I did. All right. I looked all over the place, was finding different options like Copart and this Panigale V4 kind of fell into my lap. And so we started the build. And it's been long, gruesome. There's been lots of lows and lots of highs. But today is the day that we get to finally take it out and really put it through its paces. Once we get there, we've got to set things up. We got to go and get some tires. Then we've got some meetings, and I'm going to take you through my first track day. All right? Will's going to help me.
Yeah.
He's going to be the primary filmographer and pit crew guy. We're going to the racetrack. Let's go. Look at this. It is a beautiful morning out here in Shelton. We're over here getting ready to set up. We got a bunch of stuff to unload from the truck, from the trailer. We got Will.
Hello.
Good morning, Will.
Morning.
Yeah, his friend Arthur wasn't able to make it. So he's going to be here with me all by himself.
That's okay, though.
Poor Will. Gonna spend all day with Dad.
It's okay. I get to see you flying by.
Yeah, you will. All right. Oh, we got a lot of work to go. A lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. So I'm gonna put the camera down and get to going. All right, we just got done going and registering, did our pit, or we did our tech inspection. Now we're gonna take these wheels off and go over and see Sage over at CTR. All right, tires are dropped off over with Sage at CTR, and we stopped by Compy's tent. And look at that, Duck fam. We have got our number plate for the year, as well as we got our numbers for the bike once we get our raised plastics on it. Woo. We got a lot of exciting stuff coming up this year, so I'll let you guys go. I got some other stuff to figure out.
It is now 7:30. We're going to do a track ride around here in about 2 or 3 minutes. There's a light pickup. Right for the too fast pitch, you can jump in the bed and
We're gonna do it.
Chest.
All right, so we're gonna wait for the other truck. Is your stomach in knots too?
No.
Mine is.
Well, that's because you're racing.
I'm not racing. I am riding today.
Riding.
It's different. There's a difference.
Well, you're going onto a track where you get to go fast.
Yes.
That's racing.
Yeah. That's not. The track walk is going to be the longest part of this video because as a first-time track day rider, there's a lot of really good information. There's a lot of Ducatis out here today. Worried I was going to be the only one. Yeah, what's up, Rick? Yeah.
I could do some talking.
Oh, you do the talking.
I do. You know, Mark is great at this. So listen to Mark, but I could give you what you missed because he's.
All right, what's he saying?
Well, this is where you enter?
Yeah, this is spit in and spit out. He wants to come in here, stay there, right, go down there, and wait till they tell you to go on. There's a guy going to stand going like this. Okay. And then he goes, you can go, but he'll stand it out so it's not everybody at once. Yeah, so this is your first time, or you've been here before?
7 years ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And
This
I
is
had
a really
problems
great
with
place.
the bike, so I never got a full day out of it.
Oh, you're kidding. You got it gypped on your day?
No, yeah.
Oh, well, this is a really great day. The key to it is start out f***ing slow. Everybody's in a hurry.
Yeah.
You know, we got to be patient. Give yourself a chance to acclimate. You got to warm up. Even if you're the fastest guy in the world, they all start out f***ing slow.
I didn't raise my hand on that one.
Good.
Nice.
I just hope it all works. It's been.
Well, that's another
working on it
reason.
for a
That's
long
another
time.
reason, because then you get more confidence in your equipment. You're like, wow, the brakes feel great.
Yeah.
I'm in the right gear, or I'm in the wrong gear. You know, you're feeling out as you're going slow, and then it all like then it's just like riding home after work. You're like, okay, turn right, and then I left, and then I go straight. You know,
It's
Okay.
to this jog here. It wasn't in
The
track
chicane?
when I rode.
yeah, there's a trick to it. So you want to try to. It's a really tight turn, so you want to open it up by going all the way to the outside, which is right here by the
Square
line.
off a little.
And you just you don't want to do 45-degree across.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Oh,
try to
yeah.
do a 90. Just do a 45. But if you go slow, if you go too fast, you can't pull off a 45-degree angle turn. So you figure out the right. Well, it's a nice. This is a great thing to do. I do this, and I've been
Okay.
riding forever.
Okay, so now
Like you can feel the elevation changes and stuff. Yeah, this is coming to turn one. You want to be all the way over there on that stripe, basically.
on that straight.
Come into this apex here.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, sorry.
We had some folks in the truck that are new. It's a lot to take in one day. So the cones can be a really good guide for you today. Yellow is about where you want to turn in. Yep. White is where you want to apex. So,
Most of the time. I wouldn't count on those yellow cones being exactly right.
Right.
I use them as kind of soft reference points to kind of get around. So I'm really big on finding reference points. Give yourself freedom if you establish a reference point as a cone, a skid mark, whatever, to give yourself adjustment to it. That's one thing you're always fine tuning is adjusting on conditions and base, but find some reference and give yourself the ability to adjust to it. Really helps you go around. As I drive these track ride-arounds, I kind of try and drive the line I'm on. Granted, we're to pick up, it's quite a bit wider, but it gives you an idea We'll drive this and go stop at turn 3 up here next.
When you guys are picking reference points, pick things that don't move. Don't pick like squirrel running across the track. That shit won't be there next time. Pick something
Like shadows, right? Go
shadows are great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shadow trees.
Well-trained squirrel.
This is the one you're talking about. 3 that busted my ass twice now. Notorious to go 43. Everybody falls here. He's gonna stop and talk about it again.
Okay. All right.
Because you're
This is steep.
it unloads your suspension while you're on the gas to go through, so you kind of lose your
Not on
front.
my bike.
Right here.
All
All
right.
right, this is turn 3, guys. Looking back, it's a weird perspective. You look out there, you see the 2 orange cones on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Single orange cone, the yellow cone.
Mhm.
We're gonna, like Kevin said, we're just trying to tip in somewhere between that single orange cone and the yellow cone. The faster you go, the earlier you got to tip in. So everyone's tipping points a little bit relative. The key is, you see where that single cone is laying on the my right, but on the left-hand side of the track as you're going on it. You want to apex that leg, kind of hug the left-hand side of the track coming up the hill for a moment, and a nice gradual tip in. We should have a cone here, and I think, where's the other end? Is it up there, guys?
Yeah, I'm the
Okay.
second cone.
So there should be 2 cones. If they get all the cones out here, we use the Ken Hill Yamaha Champion School dual cone system. So when you see 2 cones, you want to be close to them. You want to have our knee over the curb, and we want our bike close and parallel with an imaginary line between those cones. That way we have bike placement and direction. How many guys have followed the Yamaha Champion School? Okay, I love the phrase they say, direction, the umbrella of direction covers everything. I'd rather have direction than placement any day. I could be where Kevin is. If I have direction, I'm not perfect, we're gonna be okay. But if I'm here and I'm pointed that way, I got placement, but I don't have direction, I'm in a deep doo-doo, okay? So get direction, and then we can fine tune with placement. As we come across this hill, there's a couple lines. I'm not gonna get into the nuances of it, but I'm looking at reference points. You see this tree line as it comes to an end? That's one reference point. There's kind of a road in the Christmas tree farm out there. That's another one. Find something that helps pull you over this hill. Know that there's gonna be a little kink left, and then it's gonna kind of roll into another kink into turn 5. Just prepare for that, and again, give yourself freedom to adjust. This corner here has the most crashes at this track, no matter what. Part of the problem is we don't have a lot of lefts here to get, or excuse me, a lot of rights to get the right-hand side of the tire warmed up, especially on cold mornings. So ease through here. The other problem is guys will apex turn 2 too early. It pushes them really wide, and now instead of coming up the left-hand side of the track, they're coming up the right-hand side, and they got to throw a ton of lean angle right here, and also they lose the front, or they get too greedy in the throttle, and they lose the rear. So since it's cold, there hasn't been a lot of rubber laid down because I think there's only been 1 car day here. Take it easy through turn 3. Ease through this. Wait till 2 or 3 o'clock. You start really getting aggressive. That's when it calls. So this is a place that can end your day bad. I don't know. I've never crashed here. Okay.
Have you really not?
I'm like, bullshit. I think 3 or 4 times.
You better knock on some wood.
Once in a while, I'm struggling someone. That's how embarrassing it is, you know. So I see Kevin laughing. Have you ever found this corner?
You know, so far.
Hey.
From 11. I'm really careful. I want to be to the right-hand side of the track as I come across the crest. If I'm coming over here, I'm veering to the left side of the track, and I can't see the backside yet. I'm adding beam as the bike's getting light. That's bad juju. So the direction thing that Mark talked about, really be patient with the shallow exit here. Get the bike pointed to exit this more shallow than you think it is.
Get your turning done back here somewhere. The more you're still turning up here, the more I'm gonna go meet you out of the fence over there. I've crashed here twice. It sucks. It doesn't take much to crash here. Then you just walk your bike flat away and you curse up and down for good.
We say that, guys, but we make a lot of humor of it, but because it's one of those ones you don't even see it coming before you know you're flying going, how did I get trapped? So really be cautious. Try and use, you have to use lean angle to turn, but use the least amount of lean angle and try and get to it gradually rather than just quickly. That's what I found about this corner that works well.
Don't go after the
So
throttle.
we'll drive this and go stop at turn 5, or you can say one.
That's the part that had me closest to crashing here. Normally you accelerate out of a corner, you go off throttle to the next one. If you're going on and off throttle here, the back end's gonna snap around, and that almost caught me out before. So rather than closing, I told like throttle crack, open but not.
Yeah, it's due to the front for crashing both times there because I got on too hard. I heard you told
This is the notorious 3.
Dude, this is all really good information.
Well, this is really it'll save your bike.
All right, let's look at this. That's about the
Look at those trees. See the tall trees, the two trees there?
Yeah.
When you're here, you should be looking up there and you'll see it'll totally come into place for you.
okay. So where do you, when you come out of there, that yellow cone's at, take wide here,
Yeah, why?
wide, and then okay.
I always watch Moto America, the professional races here, and if they're doing something, I try and emulate and watch wide. Even the Superbike guys are not out on the paint. They're still a foot to 2 feet from the edge. You look at the 600, they're 3 to 4 feet. Sawyer, you guys on the 400s, what are you about 2/3 track at most, maybe? Or how wide are you there? Halves, yeah. So the faster the bike, the more you get out wide. But the key is you're going to get out kind of wide, and then you're going to start your corner way back there, coming back in, and hopefully where these two M's are, we're going to have 2 cones sitting here. When I come through this area, I want to be right here near the curb. I've got most of this corner done. I'm looking way down on the curbing on the right, and those cones off the distance as I start driving out, and I'm kind of be coming out maybe before the curbing on the right there. And I know if I get a good drive here, I'm like, man, I don't think I'm going to make the curbing. That's when I know I'm doing it about right. If I've got enough direction that I don't have to use the curbing, I left too much back here. Now I'm coming from a racer mindset. You guys don't have to have that mindset, but we come here to have fun and have the most enjoyment. So use those things as reference points. If you're coming by there and you're like, man, I'm no problem over here, you can get on the gas a teeny bit earlier and smoother. So play with those things. As I'm looking down here, how many guys shoot guns? Think of the curbing on the right, kind of like your back sight, and then pick a reference point way down there. I love those 2 orange cones way off in the distance. That's kind of my front sight. So that's the line I'm taking. I know some people use those 2 tall trees. Some people use the gap in between the trees on the right and the 2 tall trees. You don't have to use my reference point, but pick a reference point. And then like we talked about earlier, adjust to. This is going to help pull you down in here. This is a really fun section through there. Kevin, anything you want to add that you're thinking about through here?
I think you nailed it.
Yeah. Big again, you see we're huge on reference points. Where's Aiden at? I know Aiden's around here somewhere.
Right here.
Aiden's a really quick guy.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Any comments you have?
Recognize
Things you're
you.
thinking about here, Aiden?
No, yeah, same thing. Just like you said, direction instead of placement. So when you're right here, as long as you have direction, everything else kind of lines together.
Stuff like if you're there, like we were saying, if you're there and you're looking, and you kind of it all kind of comes together for you.
Look where you want to go, but
you want to go.
point, yeah.
It's pointed in the right direction. You're okay.
Yeah. So now coming out of here,
It's like
you're super smooth. Yeah, super smooth on throttle.
You're going straight.
About where are you full throttle?
The whole as soon as the bike's almost up, right?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Where would you
like-
want it to
like
be upright?
2%, 4%, 20%, 40%,
Okay.
100%. It's kind of like roll it on.
Yep.
As like lean angle dictates throttle position.
Yep.
So if you're fully lean, you don't want too much. But
Yeah.
This is a fun turn. Okay, here we go. This is double apex. This is really fun. Right here.
If this is all confusing to you, Mark, you got single cones, 1 cone, double it. I just came to ride the freaking track. You can ride a tight line around here and be fine all day long. There's nothing wrong with that. So play with these things as your day progresses. This is a serious question. Anybody have a goal of dragging a knee today?
Oh yeah.
Okay. This is the best corner here to do it because you're in it for so long. You can kind of play with knee position, and the first time you do, like what was that? Oh, that's my knee.
Sign me up for some new knee sliders.
Exactly. There goes $50.
How long should a set of knee bucks last you?
This is a trick question.
A weekend? Oh,
A weekend.
It depends. Kevin's damn near lap record pace around here. I joke that knee pucks should last you somewhere around a season, ballpark. So if you're going through them in a day, you're dragging a little too much knee. But maybe I need to go faster and be like Kevin, okay? Maybe I've got cheap knee pucks. I don't know.
Elbow. This is the elbow.
He's got those soft ones.
The problem with elbows is you're dragging helmet, hip, shoulder, and everything else with it. We don't like that. So, last
Mark Marquez out here.
turn 6. Turn 7 is a downhill.
It is. I like
There's
it.
a white water truck up on stilts way off in the distance. As I come around 6B over here, I'm looking for that water tower, and I'm just aiming, getting a visual reference to the right-hand side of the hill, coming over that corner so that I can come down with confidence. So again, reference points. Anything you want to add, Kevin? You're thinking about?
The exit here is a bike collector. I've crashed in 7 and absolutely destroyed a bike. I think Sawyer's experience on smaller bikes, you're probably going to be exiting a little bit wider there just to carry momentum. But the bigger the bike that you're on, in my experience, the more shallow you want to exit this thing so that you can get it pointed and make your direction change before you drop down. If you're trying to make that direction change as it's dropping down, the bike's unweighted, it's easy to lose the front, and your day's going to go bad.
So we're saying slow. But what type of reference point are we are we saying 60 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour, or 100 miles an hour?
It depends on where your comfort zone is.
Yeah.
You know, what happens is your survival instinct is super powerful when you first start doing it, and your comfort zone is really tiny. But as you do it, your comfort zone gets equal to your survival instinct, and then you can add more. But you really just gotta allow yourself seat time. Allow yourself a chance to get comfortable like that, and it comes to everybody.
Okay.
If you put it, it's so, tempting to just jump to the front.
Yeah.
Just try to, like he said, say the word patience in your helmet. Middle of 8 there.
Okay,
Wait
patient.
till you get to 8B before you open it up.
All
And
right.
you'll see how that really is cool, because it works
Yes.
at all paces. What he's telling us,
Yeah.
it really does, no matter what pace you're at.
No, that's good.
Don't think that, hey, I made the 3 cone, I'm gonna go the 2 cone, now I'm gonna wait till 1 cone. You're gonna soon learn there's runoff here if you're doing that, okay? So as we tip in somewhere between the single orange cone and the yellow cone, that's about where we want to tip in. This corner rewards a very late tip in. It's hard sometimes because, especially the track day, guys are set up where they're supposed to be, but they're going slower. So you're gonna maybe move into 2/3 or half track and pass them on the brakes in here, which you can do in the 200 and 300 session. But realize that's gonna force the apex.
Me almost falling over.
Push it wide by the curbing.
Dude, the perspective. This on video and like Moto America and other riders, like all the studying, does not do this justice. This is insane.
Inside of those rippers. Look back at the bridge, guys. Almost every bike, that's a great reference point to the brake monitor. Doesn't mean we're braking.
Oh, hi.
It's a reference point. If you're on a leader bike, I can tell you, at the bridge, if you've got big kahunas, or maybe slightly before the bridge is where your brake marker is. On a 600, it might be at the bridge, slightly before, slightly after. On a smaller bike like a R7 or RS660, it's the end of the cement wall. And Sawyer, what are you waiting for? To see God or what? Sawyer waits a little longer. He races a Ninja 400, so the top speed isn't so high. My point is, pick a reference point. I think the bridge is something great to adjust to and establish. Great reference mark. Then we're going to hug that red and white line as we enter down here. That yellow cone will stay there today. It's about where you want to tip in. It's not exactly, it's pretty dang close. And then we're going to come across the left-hander. One thing I didn't mention, all the paint here at the Ridge we're really blessed with is FIM approved grippy paint, meaning we can ride over it and the grip is almost identical to what's on the asphalt, and that's good wet or dry. So I use the paint here, wet or dry. Don't think because I did it at the Ridge, I can go back to my home track and do it there. Most tracks use latex paint. In the dry, it's in the wet, it's like snot, okay? So I'm not kidding you, okay? So here we're lucky. So I say that because as I enter here, I see some Moto America guys go across the paint and some don't. It's a trade-off. I actually use the paint on the first part here. Here I don't, but we're gonna go through that. A little quick flip of the throttle from here. And then most of your turning is done after chicane 2. You're not gonna get a ton of, don't think about, hey, I gotta get way left to flop the bike over. From here, it's literally trying to get from chicane 1 to chicane 2 as quick as we can. Maybe only 5, 10, 15% of your direction change happens before this. Most of it's gonna happen afterwards. We're gonna get out near the curbing. You see that big, tall tuft of green grass on the left? Somewhere around there, you're gonna be almost on the curbing, but the curbing over there starts to fall slightly off camber. So I try and stay off the curbing, get up next to it, and then I'm working really hard to get back over where that tip is. And I actually go through just maybe 6 inches of tip as I tip in, trying to open the arc up as we come through there. Good line, good reference point.
This turn rewards a wider entry and a wider turn in. Where I'm standing is my reference point for turning in here. I want to come out a little wider so it straightens out my drive. What I'm saying is I don't want you up there.
Oh, correct.
Lots of people try to be all the way up
behind
inside.
you. The patch, I would agree with James, somewhere around that patch is a great entry. tight here, out wide there. Kevin, last word, baby.
Make it a good one. How quickly you can transition from left to right is the challenge here. It's easy to be too lazy, and I was losing some time here, and when I made that transition more rapidly, things came together. You could flow better through it.
Is that one of the biggest things you've noticed racing at the Moto America level, is how quick transitions are made everywhere on track with the pro riders?
Yeah, they can take it from full upright to full lean real quick, and then full lean one way to full lean the other way real quick.
Not that you guys got to get there, but these are things, if you're struggling in some of these areas, think about just slowly improving and working up to. I totally agree with Kevin. One of the things I'm amazed at is how quick some of these riders can go full left to full right, or from upright to on the edge.
But you know what? Someone's coming. I knew a kid that when I was first started coaching, he was hanging around the track with his mom. He was too young to ride the track. And they let him out at lunchtime, but everybody would eat lunch. And like, that kid is now Brandon Posh. He's now
Really?
factory.
Yeah. And went into the classroom. What are your thoughts?
It's pretty cool for a first time thing.
Right?
Yeah. We're gonna go still power.
Yeah, give me a water.
Alright.
Okay, so the first time out is going to be a lead follow for the class that I'm in. I'm going in a 100. This is a brand new bike to me. It's a new track. I'm not trying to light the world on fire. I'm also going to be on new tires to me. So I'm not sitting here trying to go super fast. All right. Your ego is on, there is no place for your ego on the racetrack. All right. Just go out, have fun. This is a new experience for me, new bike. Just got done putting this thing all back together. And I just want to take it nice and slow until I really get used to this thing. And as Mark said in the meeting, we're gonna be racing this bike and we don't want to go and water it up the first time out. All right, so I'm still trying to figure out if I'm even gonna put a camera on the bike. I don't know yet. We're gonna find out here. First session was lead follow. Came in, I got some things ironed out on the Panigale now. My shifter came off. I'm about ready to go out for round 2. All right, here we go. Okay. So now that we've got a few other things kind of figured out on this bike, now I think the clutch might be slipping. And so, yeah, that's the thing. As soon as I get in third gear, try to go down the front straight, it feels like it's just not happening. So, I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick. And then, yeah, I might need to go tighten up the suspension. So, or not the suspension, but tighten up the clutch. All right, later. All right, so we're about ready to go out. Session 3 right here. got Andrew.
Hello, sir. Gal.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. All right. He's going to show me around the track. Last session I was following Jenny. The last one prior to that was a lead and follow. We got to get these tire warmers off and get going. All right. Later.
Panigale dead, dust stick on the top. Title red salvage, but my heart said watch. Bolts in the bucket, forks leaking on the floor. Engine would have turned, just a hollow little roar. Everybody laughing while you saving that corpse. I just smirked, said watch me, I'll bring back a storm. Stripping to the bones, bare metal cross spine. Scars from some crash, I could read a whole crime. She ain't road queen now, she a straight line blade. New purpose in the pain, she attract they fade. This that resurrection at the on that protection like armor. Reset sharp, feel the shift get harder. Vortex metal, little halo on the bars. Every clamp, every sprocket turning ghosts into stars. Tuned up right by the twin wheel crew. Dyno screen glowing, whole room with blue. Map for the straights, map for the climb. They pulled hidden horses out the corners of time. Dollar bin pipe from an online store. Thought it joke, but it talks from the core. Under load in fourth, it just house outrage. Cheap steel, rich sound, whole bike uncaged. Pirelli slicks kissed by cascade hands. Hot rap steam like they blessing my plans. Rubber soft sidewalls, whisper lean more. Ridge Motorsports sky, I'm about to explore. This the resurrection at the ridge. From the wreck to the grid we live. Every scar, every death that she did. Now it's race space, apex, let it dead. We brought death back from the fire. Turn the graveyard fine to a live wire. From the trailer to a woman's mirror sing at the ridge. Watch a dead bike in the wind, that's church. Old paddock cousins smell of rubber, hot t-shirts. Control riders 9, point me out like go. Session board blinking, I can feel that flow. Outlap calm, just a heartbeat check. Cold mind, warm ties, keep the ego in check. Then I drop a gear, see the markers in sight. From a total red coffin to a missile in flight. This that resurrection at the ridge. From the wreck to the grid we live. Every star, every death that she did. Now it's race pace, apex, let it down. We brought death back, breathing the fire. Turn the graveyard fine to a live wire. From the trailer to the woman's here sing at the ridge. Watch a dead bike grow away. Too fast banners in the wind, that's church. Old paddock cousins smell of rubber, hot t-shirts. Control riders 9, point me out like go. Session board blinking, I can feel that flow. Outlap calm, just a heartbeat check. Cold mind, warm ties, keep the ego in check. Then I drop a key and see the markers in sight. From a total red coffin to a missile in flight. This that resurrection at the ridge. From the wreck to the grid we live. Every scar, every death that she did. Now it's race pace, apex, let it dead. We brought death back, breathing the fire. Turn the graveyard fine to a live wire. From the trailer to the woman's here sing at the ridge. Watch a dead bike grow away.
All right. So last session was really good riding with Andrew. So as you just do it over and over again, it becomes muscle memory, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So like today, like I was saying, I've done 4 taste of racings over the last 2 years.
Right.
Today was the first time at the Ridge on doing an actual track day.
And those are different different environments and settings as well. Taste of racing, you just kind of go out, you follow around, you don't really get to work with anybody one-on-one.
Yeah.
Right? Like with here, when you sign up for a day, you could pull marshal or instructor, anybody aside and ask questions and then go out and ride.
Every session I was following somebody.
Absolutely.
I don't know
think I was behind Emily for a little bit. The
It was
first,
a lot of fun.
the lead follow.
Yeah.
And then Jenny, I came out like halfway through the second session.
And she also worked for track time.
Slicks. Like, I hadn't even been able to put them on the warmers.
You got to be careful with that because slicks are designed for, you got to keep heating them.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're not keeping up with the pace, like, you'll lose your front or your rear because it's too cold.
Yeah. So I was thinking it's super slow.
Yeah. It might be actually beneficial to get a second, like if because it's a Ducati, another second of rims. So you'll have a set for your rings, a set for your slicks, and a set for your DOTs.
Yeah.
For each condition, right?
Yeah. Good. I was having fun. I was like, all right, I like this.
Good.
I like this small incremental, like.
Promise I'll put the mirror on next time.
Dude, no, it's all good. So on my, like I said,
we'll see when I do that.
Yeah.
We won't be wasting any time trying to figure out where you are or wasting a lap or two trying to gradually introduce speed. I can have the mirror there, look at speed, dial it back. So it's kind of like a live adjustment rather than having to wait for a straight, for me to look back and make an adjustment.
And it felt good not getting passed by a bunch of people. Yeah. Well, it's like I'm sitting there going on along thinking I'm on a good pace, and then all of a sudden somebody comes around and
just let them go. Just let them go.
Yeah. Not go it.
Yeah, just let them go.
Yeah, but
especially when you're working
on. Feel good though when they're wearing a vest when they pass me. Oh. I'm like, all right.
They're supposed to.
Yeah.
You know?
So what's it been like for you, trackside?
It's a lot of fun, honestly. Really like going to racetracks with you. Can't wait until I can race too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna get you a little bike.
Eventually.
All right. Get you a little bike. Get you out there, because honestly, it wasn't that bad. It could have been a lot worse as far as. Oh, I need.
Oh yeah.
Wait. Hold on. Let's go check.
Yeah.
I think I forgot everything.
Everything.
Where's my wallet? Do you remember where my wallet was?
No.
No.
Did you even bring it?
I did.
Did?
I have a wallet somewhere.
It might be in your jacket.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna get some lunch.
Yep. All right, about ready to head out. Do one last session, and then I'm calling it. My legs are cooked. Oh, we're gonna try to go a little bit faster this time. Just warming this bike up. Well, I know that my 360 kind of gave up the ghost early. The battery died. This session, though, I lost my rear brake. Complete. Yep. I could swear I freaking blew Loctite and everything. It is what it is. Checking to see if we can find all the parts. If not, I'm gonna have to order.
Again.
Yeah, again. But the rear brake was super sensitive going out. It was being weird. But I am getting a little bit more comfortable. My best time was a 220 from what it's saying. The bike's doing some interesting stuff. It's saying my max speed is 194.5 kilometers per hour. I don't know what that is in miles per hour. We'll put it up on the screen. But right here. And that's through Lab Trophy. I'm trying to figure out how to get this right here to work. I'm gonna check that right now, actually. We're gonna see if it worked this time. Nope, it didn't. I don't know why, but it didn't. We're gonna go ask some questions, and we'll find out. But I need to get out of this leather suit. I gotta go talk to some people, and we're probably gonna pack up and get out, because this right here was kind of a bummer, losing the rear brake. Plus, my legs are freaking cooked, fam. This guy is a little out of shape. I should have been doing more
like stamina, exercises, because holy moly. All right, there is a few things that I'm gonna have to check out. All right, later. All right, we're gonna wrap up our day here. We're gonna pack everything up and head home. Things. It's been a day. It's been fun. I gotta go potentially grab my parts, but oh man, I'm exhausted. All right, we're gonna go out on the track and see about recovering the lost pieces. Here's some bonus footage if you've watched all the way until the end. All right, here we go.
We're riding around the track with the truck because he lost the rear brake.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go look for parts.
No, today was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
We got a lot of awesome content for you guys. And I learned a lot about freaking racing. Wow, look at how steep this is. Fine. I'm going to safety wire just about every nut and bolt on that thing.
There's
Apparently it's on the side.
so the red and white, so then it should be pretty easy to find.
That's what they're saying. It's right there. Like, you can see it. 12 and 13 is that stretch. So it's going to be up in here.
And it's on this side?
Yeah, it should be on this side.
Alright. If they're able to see it, then it could. I think I see it.
That.
That's the pedal.
That's definitely it. All right, now let's see if we can find the screw too. All right, we found it.
Well, one part.
Yeah, that's super annoying because the bolt's gone too.
Ah.
So I gotta call up Woodcraft and get some parts.
Yeah. Specifically the screw and the bolt.
Yeah. What else? Gonna need some O-rings.
Yeah. Hey, at least we found the. At least you're not gonna spend more money.
All right. Well, that's gonna wrap up this video from the Ridge Motorsports Park. Look at that. Look at that view right there.
You can see a water tower.
Until next time, I'll catch you on the next ride.
Bye-bye.